are upset at this fictional piece of media. Boy, must be a day ending on a Y. You might think that these girls look like any regular anime characters, but do not get fooled. These are glorified criminals that entice men to commit crimes against women. Oh my god! Let's look at the details. Hello world, this is Dee from Japan. How are you doing today? So this controversy started when this woman called Yumeno Nito complained on Twitter about the Onsen Musume project or the Hot Spring Girls project. Hot Spring Girls project, man, Japan has everything. Anyway, I bet she's one of those feminists who complain on Twitter while doing nothing at all in real life.
夜の新宿歌舞伎町、道行く少女に声をかけていきます。虐待や性暴力などの被害に遭った10代少女の支援をする団体コラボの二藤夢乃さんです。
Okay, Onsen Musume is part of Japanese government's Cool Japan project that started in 2016, and it aims to promote hot springs across Japan by creating anime deities that represent each hot spring region, and it also involves creating anime, manga, and video games around each of these characters. So Yumeno came across this project during her trip, and what exactly did she object to? Because they just seem like any regular anime characters, right? On Twitter, she said, "Oh my god, there are characters that like to lift up skirts of other girls, a girl that gets excited thinking about possible yobai, a girl being described as voluptuous and sexy, and a teenager that drinks wine. This is gender discrimination and sexual exploitation." So yobai is an ancient Japanese dating custom practiced in around 10th century where a man would crawl into a woman's bedroom late at night. So this chick is wanting men to crawl into her bedroom at night.
胸？目立ちますか？なんでこんな大きいのがついてるんだろう。
Oh man, yes, that's what exactly a woman would say. How did the pervy guys writing the script understand women so well? It's a mystery.
スタイルキープの秘訣を教えてほしい？教えてあげてもいいけど、今日はお姉さんのとこにお泊まりですよ。
Sorry, I think my eyes kind of got stuck during an eye roll. I actually love the fact that Yumeno went through the character list. It's this long to find the problematic ones. So initially I thought Yumeno's complaints were just these unnecessary backstories and information, but she goes on to say that there are many different types of female characters, but they are all turned into a sex object. I am appalled how well this project recreated the man's fantasy, and that the Japanese government promoted and used taxpayers' money on this project, having girls lined up and treating them as an object that can be selected shows the lack of human rights awareness that enjoys dominating women. So, that was a mouthful. I think she's more sensitive about this topic as someone that helps teen girls, because teen girls without a home they could rely on frequently become targets of unwanted sexual advances. And just to be fair, I do think that teen boys get ignored a bit, and I'm assuming that teen boys with nowhere to go end up relying on gangs. Does anyone know about this? If so, let me know in the comment section. So I'm gonna digress here a little bit, but I think what Yumeno is doing is commendable.
家にいられない事情を抱え、生活に困窮している少女たちが街をさまよっているといいます。こうした少女たちに安心して過ごせる場所を提供しようと、二藤さんはこの日も10代限定のカフェを開きました。
実家なんですけど、ご飯をくれる親がないので。
It's been reported that if a Twitter account belonging to a female middle schooler tweets saying, "I want to run away from home," then this is what she gets. She gets bombarded by these random men messaging her, saying things like, "Hello, I'm a 31-year-old corporate employee," or "Do you want to come over to mine?" Man, creeps. And when guys like this then get arrested for having runaway girls stay at their home, they always say stuff like, oh, I wanted to protect and help girls. Well, if you're so charitable, why don't you help homeless men that is your age? Anyway, going back to... So I found a person saying, do Japan's hot spring hotels want to attract perverts? And the answer is a resounding yes! A lot of the hot spring sites actually like the Onsen Musume project and love these characters because it brings in the customers.
人気ですか？イベントの時とかは大勢買いに来られます。
Having a place featured in an anime, like this shrine featured in the popular anime Lucky Star, resulted in a staggering amount of visitors. Wow, look at all those anime geeks desperate for a prayer. They really want to pray hard. A newspaper column written by this feminist on the Onsen Musume controversy said that there have been many controversies surrounding anime character promotions and adverts in the past decade. Why do Japanese companies and governmental agencies rely on attractive anime girls? Having teen girls with revealing outfits enticing customers is no different to CP, even if they are fictional characters. I think the problem with some of the feminist argument is that once you start saying that these fictional characters entice actual crimes to real women, that kind of becomes harder to prove. This year, a mobile phone application game called Uma Musume Pretty Derby that turned real-life racehorses into girls became a huge runaway hit. And horse racing itself became popular because people who played the game wanted to know more about their horses. So if a mobile phone game with pretty girls get players to actually go watch real-life horse races, I don't think Japan will stop using anime characters for adverts or promotions anytime soon. It's just not financially viable. I personally love anime, and I wouldn't mind seeing anime guys or girls used for adverts. So I think maybe it's time to decide what kind of characters are okay to use publicly and which ones aren't. With things like lifting people's skirts without consent and crawling into girls' rooms, well, that's just crime. Even if it's fictional, with these ones, you can argue that they can send the wrong message. These problematic details have been removed from the official Onsen Musume pages, and I'm personally okay with that. By the way, in this book that I happen to be reading now called Why the Japanese Youth Stopped Falling in Love, the female author is explaining that the practice of yobai actually gave the woman an upper hand, which I was really surprised to learn about. According to the author, the men had to make sure that they pleased the woman all night long, and it was only after 3 nights of successful bedroom courtship, the woman then decided that she would marry the man that kept her entertained for 3 nights in a row. Then the era of samurai came, where the men succeeded the family name, and women were used as an object in marriage strategies. Damn those samurais taking away women's rights. So there's a platform called Abema, which is like an online TV streaming platform. And although some of their talk shows are okay, in most cases, it's just a bunch of random idiots that try to look self-important by simply regurgitating the popular opinions of netizens while trying to pretend to be impartial. So basically, they are giving the opinions that the netizens want to hear. Sometimes it just feels like watching monkeys grooming each other. In this almost all-male panel discussing Onsen Musume, and before I go on, I just want to clarify, women that go online and be like, men suck, men are awful, all men are awful, blah, 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 blah. They aren't good either. 50% of the population is male, 50% is female. We need to learn to get along together. However, when an issue impacts women mainly, it's weird to have an almost all-male panel defending the right to sexualize women. Anyway, I love this bit where a female artist tries to talk And then this pompous random man number 4 cuts her off.
そういう表現の形だとは思ってるんですけれども、
さっきゆるキャラとの違いの話がでしたけど、ゆるキャラって基本的に自治体が
So this angry man starts talking about the issue, even though he's not an expert in this field. But she is. She created DJ Carrot. I actually wanted to hear more from her. But anyways, this noob starts saying that hot spring sites don't necessarily target all customers, and it's up for each hot spring to decide who to target. Then this 44-year-old adult manga artist, 44 years old? I want to know which plastic surgeon he's using. He's saying that a lot of female video game characters outside of Japan are becoming more and more gorilla-like, like Tomb Raider. I actually am a huge fan of Tomb Raider. I love it. She goes around the world raiding tombs and fighting random enemies. But yeah, even in the Angelina Jolie live-action film, Angelina Jolie had to use some padding on her breast, while the new reboot, which my personal opinion only was quite forgettable, the actress had a more realistic physique. The gorilla hater then says that feminists are demanding gorilla-like characters, and this wave of gorilla-ification and the suppression of freedom of speech will wash over to Japan as well. So Japan, watch out for more gorillas! You're gonna get more gorillas, man! Then what's his face then uses the anti-feminist's favorite move, it's just Japanese culture.
萌え的な文化ってもともとも日本古来からある幼いものを好むとかね、ピュアなものが好きとかっていうその伝統さえも潰してまで欧米のポリコレを我々は導入すべきなのか。
I do agree with him a little bit in the sense that the Japanese culture has its own thing, and we don't need to always try to cater toward other cultures. One example of cultural differences like this that I can think of right now is that I used to live in somewhat of a countryside in Australia, and at the time I was moving houses, so I was trying to sell or give away some of my stuff. So I was communicating with a bunch of people online, and they were coming to my house to get or buy some stuff. And this older guy comes in, and he pointed out at one of the things I had and started laughing. And I was like, what is wrong with him? And he was laughing because oh my god, you're not gonna believe this. I had an anime plushie. Back in the day, I really struggled standing up for myself. If it happened now, I would have told him off. But at the time, I was thinking, what an idiot. It was some guy I won't see again after 5 minutes. So I didn't say anything, but it's not uncommon for a grown man these days to have a plushie of an anime or cartoon characters. And I think in Japan, it's not that uncommon for a grown adult to have anime stuff in their own house. I got these Detective Conan figurines, but yeah, no one really cares about what a guy who thinks it's okay to laugh at other people's belonging have to think or say. Me personally, I love anime, manga, and everything, but I don't really care about Onsen Musume because I'm not gonna go to a hot spring just because there are some anime characters there. I'm not their target market. But I kinda have an issue with the deceitfulness. Whether you agree or not, the feminists were complaining about unnecessary background information first. At first, they were complaining about having female characters that like to commit sexual crimes by today's standard in such a public promotion. And I kind of feel like some of the people arguing back aren't directly addressing the feminist concern. They are switching the argument and getting angry over nothing. So I found this Spanish-speaking female YouTuber, and she was doing the same thing.
Te vuelve así un poco tarumba, pero eres japonesa, de verdad no estás acostumbrada a imágenes como estas en todos lados. Esto es lo que le escandalizó a ella, ¿sabes? Siento mis derechos humanos completamente vulnerados en este instante.
It would be really funny if someone got up and pissed off everyone by saying, do men like you more now that you're being an honorary male? This is my personal opinion only, but anime characters are fictional. I think with anime characters, some of them could be in high school, some of them could be teenagers, but I, as an audience, don't register them as high school students. There are many anime set in high school with some sexy scenes, and I am aware that if they were done with an actual real-life high school students, it would be super problematic. But because they are not real humans, I think a lot of people don't register them as a teenager. I mean, we are expected to believe that these are actual Japanese people. That chick has blue hair, and she's supposed to be Japanese. And that chick is blonde. And I've never seen a single girl who styles her hair like that. Not in Japan or anywhere else in the world. Some of the controversies surrounding anime adverts can be a bit confusing. For example, this Tangerine ad got tons of outrage because her skirt was too short. And the shadows seemed to be indicating something else. I found a tweet that said, women experience difficulties due to facing too much sexual demands, while men experience difficulties due to lack of such demands. And this is true for the majority of heterosexual people. I think it's difficult for some people to imagine the other camp because it's not like men complaining about the feminists will see these sorts of adverts at hot springs. But we can always try to understand the other perspective. This channel is about Japanese news, so I was gonna cover the hot spring girls at some point. But with these feminist topics, if I make a video where I don't absolutely slam the feminists and try to be somewhat impartial, the views really suffer a lot. Most of my views retention rate, so the percentage that you, the audience, watch the video are between 30 to 40%. So most of my videos do really well. However, with the feminist controversy of Tojo Rinka, this video, it was 12%. Man, that was the worst any of my videos ever done. With these videos, I have to keep the tone humorous while still trying to be somewhat entertaining. So I try not to be too serious, but if you agreed with some of the points I made or think that these characters do have some problematic aspects, it would be great if you could show some support by commenting, liking, and sharing the video so people can feel that it's worth speaking up about their views. And again, if you have any opinions, please feel free. Man, I am so tired. This video is so long. Let me try that again. And again, if you have any opinions, please feel free to share so we can learn from each other. Thanks for watching until the end. Until I see you the next time, please take care. Bye.